So just scrying the Enochian word ROXTAN, which translates as rectified wine. And this is a relatively obscure word, but I'm getting this sense of moving back and forth. Again, there's a lot of this back and forth like a sine wave vibration, very much a wavy kind of feel. And there's partly this sense that this is similar to the Philosopher's Stone or the Odd Call, but this is more, obviously it's more fluid. I'm reminded of that Chinese phrase, the best is like water, shang shang yuo shui. I might have that wrong. Anyway, but there's this very much a sense of waviness, right? Like a very calm, still back and forth, almost as if you were in a very gentle wading pool almost, or a wave pool, I should say. Everything is very clear, clean. The feeling that I get as I move a little bit more into it is that this is a pleasant feeling. It's got, what I'm sensing is that so all of this sensory stuff is leading to, what I was going to say is that this is feeling good, it's feeling pleasant, but really it's that calm pleasantness that we kind of wish that we could all just plug into in day-to-day life without any problem. But what I'm sensing is that this is a foundation for being calm, for being introspective, and for being able to be receptive to spiritual insight. And this has a lot of, this is sort of like, I don't want to like put a certain associated alchemical phase associated with it, but suffice it to say that it's almost, okay, it's homeostasis, right? It's having achieved homeostasis such that it's easier for the spiritual insight to come in and to calm the mind. So this is what one is dealing with. As far as other physical alchemy, rectified wine implies that I mean, it does have this feeling of like a very good wine that is, it's almost like it's filtered or something. It's hard to describe. Like the taste, the sort of the way that wine can like rush in. Sorry, it's been a while since I've had a drink, over a decade. But the way that it sort of buzzes you out, but also seeps in through your physical system. So that is, if we were to take that physical feeling, yet also apply it to the spiritual, so that one is, it's like communion wine, right? If one were to drink a lot of the communion wine, then that's the sense that I'm getting. And one needs to be prepared. You can't just chug it and go, right? So that's what I'm sensing. So this is very beautiful, and I will proceed with the next aether, the next word that I'm going to scry. So just scrying the word LULO, which is described as the mother of ROXTAN, so the mother of rectified wine by the angels. So I got multiple feelings when I made the call the second time, one of which was the need to sort of start with purified substances before one does this. So if you want water, you need purified water to make the rectified wine. If you want, whatever the grapes are, purified grapes, etc., or whatever the substance that one is making the wine from. Wine, of course, is grapes, but um, so the sense is, but a rectified wine is going to imply other things are being involved. And the other sense I get is the need to detach. So the sense that I'm getting is almost like the process of making ROXTAN almost has with it its own intelligence with it, somewhat like the Philosopher's Stone I mentioned yesterday has this built-in intelligence with it. The process of creating this rectified wine has its own intelligence built into it, or requires it. So there are several steps, obviously, to make purified water. So in other words, water that is free from anything else, right? The essence of the water. So I'm trying to like make this distinction between, obviously, holy water has this spirit of God imbued within it as a result of the prayer, or in conjunction with the prayer, I should say, because everything presumably is coming from God, so, or it is coming from God. So this intelligence of making rectified wine, making sure that there isn't anything but water in the water, making sure that let's say the alembic that one is using, or the crucible that one is using, these alchemical tools, doesn't have other stuff within it. So obviously we do our best to approach whatever ideal it is, but ultimately, our ability to do so is limited by our perspective, our experience, etc. So this is where I'm getting a sense of, like, in multiple ways, there are two parallels. One needs purified elements. So one needs, let's say the earth would be like the grapes itself. The element of earth would be the grape itself, the water, the purified grapes, purified water, purified fire with which to, heat up the admixture, and air appropriate for, the appropriate wafting, for lack of a better term. So yeah, so this is, ventilation and stuff like that. So obviously you wouldn't want impure air coming in and bringing its miasma to what should be a rectified process. So those four elements themselves need to be pure, but there's also this sense of rectified planetary elements. So all of those things need to be purified as well as can be. And finally, the persons, because the sense I get is that this isn't just one person in making this rectified wine. There is this sense of communion, of everybody sort of being on the same page, their hearts kind of open and working together. And in that way, you can get much more of a blessing. It's sort of like one person, you can do it, you can make rectified wine, but it's not going to reach that higher octave of what rectified wine could do. So it's a lot going on. It's like a mother who needs many fathers, to not to put too fine a point on it, right? But of course, that's most often the way children are made, if you think about it, in terms of like one egg to many sperm. Just kind of how it goes. But okay, so, and of course we could get down into the chromosomal level and say there's a lot of, stuff going on there, but that's the idea. So planetary influences, a very, very rectified wine, would include zodiacal influences as well, all of course under the ultimate authority of the divine. But yeah, and of course working with angels, whichever spirits. So there's this sense that there's a, all along the great chain of being, as it were. The more things that you include, the more potent and what's the word I'm looking for? comprehensive across multiple levels, this rectified wine, this ROXTAN will be. So that's the sense I'm getting. So that's it.